Let's get it. Hop off a 16 passenger. This a G5, no, this not a Challenger. Big one. I keep some members with me in the fridge. The coat seats, they some cannibals. Eaters. They like to geek. Drink a whole bottle, wake up and repeat. Damn. She took a look, mixed it with the chill out. Now she say she saying 3D. Wow. I go in the jungle and they got a coat. I bet I come out with a mean. I better do this shit for the fam, cause this shit bigger than me. Color stones in my infinity lane. And in the factory masterpiece. I call him twin, cause that be my brother. We got the same roller, he matching me. Nah, for real.
Water on me like the sun. Some carrots, some pointers. All these commas, I want fun. Me go gunners out the jungle. Buy it all, fuck a fronter. Nigga, cake on me, no funnel. Cash. Drop top feeling like stunner. Drop top. KD play no runner. We gon' chrome my wallet, smoke my pilot. Take 3 vibe to the tropics. Nigga want shit. I was outside just serving narcotics. Pay me that stick. Nigga made one wrong move, just popping. Living on broke with the whole flooded out in the hotel lobby. It's crowded. Diamonds be dancing like Bobby. They dance. Don't touch a dick like it be cocky. Don't touch it. Shroom and GC the party. We geeky. Bitches gon' trend on the top. Keep trending. The way I pull up, I'ma pop it and none of these niggas gon' stop me. Pull up. Gone. Put that shit on, get a cup for the drip. I'm a motherfucking 5. Keep low. Keep stacking your bank, I'll get bigger. Never would. I throw some shit on no nigga. On tape. Little nigga, don't play with these niggas. I see the big picture. We up on these niggas. The huncho, the one you gon' call on me, nigga. I got your back, you gon' follow me, nigga. When I get up, we gon' ball on these niggas. Fucking shit up, cause we beat out the system. Fuck the system. Water on me like the sun. Some carrots, some pointers. All these commas, I want fun. Me go gunners out the jungle. Buy it all, fuck a fronter. Nigga, cake on me, no funnel. Cash. Drop top feeling like stunner. Drop top. KD play no runner. We gon' chrome my wallet, smoke my pilot. Take 3 vibe to the tropics. Nigga want shit. I was outside just serving narcotics. Pay me that stick. Nigga made one wrong move, just popping. Living on broke with the whole flooded out in the hotel lobby.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows, and what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions, and rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, just wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me.
What's up, guys? Anyway.
What's up, guys? How are we doing this evening? We're back here for another episode of the Machete Bowl. What's up, everyone in chat? What's up, everyone I didn't say hi to? What's up, Kingmaster? What's up, Guido? What's up, Lindsay? What's up, Gravity? What's up, Woods? How are you? What's up, Sniper Elite? I hope you all are having a good evening. And what's up? Oh, Soupy. What's up, Soupy? What's up, Isaiah? Congrats on 6K. Just 534,000 to catch up with Jack. Yeah, thank you, Isaiah. We watched him Cooking with Jack last night when you weren't here, just to spite you. Just to spite you, Isaiah. anyways. We're here tonight to watch Cobes. We're here to watch Cobes do a little gender rant. Hold on. What the fuck is my phone making noises? Anyway, sorry. Cobes did a little gender rant that no one asked for, that no one wants, but where he really told everyone his opinion on trans people, and it was all over the place, and I had to heavily edit it because he was really talking about some stuff that was a little bit, I I don't know why he keeps talking about the private parts of trans people, like, so specifically. Like, I don't know why he's so very concerned with that, but it's weird. But I had to cut out some of that, guys. But he's blind drunk, and I think he had a fight with his father about politics or something, and he decided to make this stupid rant. Yeah, that is true. That is true. That is very true. Yeah. So with that being said, let's watch Cobes' new rant on trans people, guys.
I posted a video from Blair White onto my Facebook, and someone commented, Blair White is a cunt. Everyone in the trans community fucking hates her. She frequently spreads lies, and she knows to be untrue and keeps the right-wing grifter bucks flowing. I'm like, that's your opinion. That is your opinion.
Oh, and I recorded this at speed, so it's a little bit sped up, because I didn't want to sit here. I think it was like 38 minutes if I didn't record it sped up. So, you know, that's a little favor for you guys. But, yeah, so yeah.
Opinion. You know what I posted back in that response? Which is hypocritical, because if the trans community is all about love and acceptance, then you'll accept every trans person regardless of their views. Oh, but you won't do that because y'all are full of shit.
Yeah. This is Cobes' gotcha to anyone who wants to be accepting. If you want to be accepting, you have to accept literally everyone in the world, no matter who they are and what they preach, just because you said you're accepting. And if you don't do that, then you're not accepting, and you're, I don't know, ipso facto anti-trans or something. And Cobes is the real champion of trans people here, guys, because he likes Blair White. He's got a weird thing about Blair White.
Right-wing lies, when both sides spread lies and misinformation. No, anymore, I'm just sick and tired of all the hypocrisy and the hatred. The gay community loves to preach about love, tolerance, and acceptance, but if you don't think exactly like they do, you're intolerant. And I'm like, newsflash, not everyone's gonna think just like you. And like, you know, this is the thing of it. Just because
newsflash, not everyone's gonna think just like you. This coming from Cobes, the man famously who gets drunk and confused at the fact that people don't think exactly like him. And he has a problem with it and makes these rants for way too long. He wants to inform other people, guys, that not everyone thinks like you.
Support Blair White doesn't mean jack shit. Not everyone in the gay community / trans community thinks like her, and that's just fine. I love how the gay community / trans community can hate on Donald Trump, even though he's the first president to host a gay wedding, you know, and allow a trans woman to compete in Miss Universe. But that's not accepting enough. Like, y'all are some intolerant fucking hypocrites, dude. 100%. I'm like, you know, I don't got a problem with the trans community. What I got a problem with...
You know, he champions Trump a lot in this video. And he acts like, you know, his side won. Meanwhile, he didn't even go and vote because the line was too long. But he's really behind President Trump, guys.
This is the hypocrisy, and everyone taking advantage of their fucking trans privilege. People taking advantage of their trans privilege. Okay, Cobra, what the fuck is trans privilege? When you got a dick and balls, and you still got your, you know what I'm saying? You're still a male by your dick and balls, and you're demanding that everyone allows you to change in the female locker room, but you still have male parts.
And he's very obsessed with that point. I don't know why he's so obsessed with that point. I mean, number one, I don't think it's the issue he thinks it is. Number two, he never goes to the gym, never goes outside really, but this is the biggest problem in the world, that someone with the wrong private parts might be going into a locker room. Guys, this is the biggest problem in the world that directly affects Cobes, and he needs to be very concerned with it and rant about it.
You make everyone else feel uncomfortable in the female locker room. They're told to just get over it and stop being a bigot. But if they make you feel uncomfortable as a trans person, they'll never hear the end of it. That's the hypocrisy I'm talking about. You know, when it comes to like trans versus cisgendered, I gotta say two things. Treat others the way you want to be treated and consider the other side's opinion. But you're not gonna do that because everyone is so blindsided by hatred. Everyone in the trans community fucking hates.
We got two from Isaiah. Clint caught crossed dresses and Sasha is his boo. Be a bottom. Yeah, we know this about him. And that's why he's self-hating about it. He doesn't want to admit that part of it, and it's very sad. That's why we're using the sad piano music tonight, guys.
Blair White, while screaming it's all about tolerance and acceptance and love. This is just like Dave Chappelle's friend Daphne, because she thought Dave Chappelle was funny, because Dave Chappelle is one of my favorite comedians. because he makes fun of everybody and everything. You see Dave Chappelle put on whiteface and fucking make fun of white people. If I bitch about it, I'm a racist, I'm an intolerant bigot, piece of shit, whatever.
I thought you loved Dave Chappelle because he made fun of everything. Why would you complain about the whiteface? Why would you? That doesn't even make any sense. Oh, this comedian I know, he's a great guy because he makes fun of everything. I mean, that's not really... doesn't really make sense, but okay.
If I don't laugh at it, well then I'm a racist for not laughing at a black comedian's jokes. I'm sick of it, dude. Y'all are fake as fuck. 100%.
Definitely.
And like, okay, so like the trans community bitches about acceptance and tolerance, yet if Blair White doesn't think exactly like the way you think, she's a fucking cunt and she's intolerant, she's a self-hating trans. If I don't think exactly the way you think, I'm a fucking transphobic apparently. I'm like, you know what, not everyone's gonna think the way you do. This is exactly my point, and why I have a problem with politics. Is that just because I don't think like you doesn't mean I hate you. We're allowed to disagree with each other on certain topics without it being like, oh, you're a transphobe, or you're...
This is gonna... He'll bring this up later, but basically what happened, I'm pretty sure he was in the car with Clint, because he doesn't have any friends to drive him around. He was in the car with Clint, and he made a stupid joke about, like, libtard tears. It was a terrible, stupid joke, and he thought everybody would think it was so funny. And instead, Clint turned to him and was like, Josh, that's not very appropriate. Don't do that. And he turned into a big argument with Clint about, like, politics, and everyone's just like, yeah, I don't know, whatever. He'll get into that eventually, but that's basically what happened. He got into an argument with Clint. I'm pretty sure it was Clint, because that makes every sense. And then he came home and made this stupid rant because he can't be wrong. His ODD means he can't be wrong ever. If he loses an argument to Clint, he has to come home and make a long rant about the subject to his YouTube fans, guys.
You know what I'm saying? Fucking Christ, I'm over it. Why? Because Blair White's more convincing than like 95% of trans women out there, and y'all hate her because she's better looking.
$2 from Charlie. Y'all behave, we don't want to rumble. This isn't going to rumble. I heavily edited the Cobes video so that anything I thought was even inappropriate, maybe not even against, just I thought would be inappropriate, is out of there. Because we're not going to rumble with this one. We're going to be very appropriate and just deal with this conversation about trans people like adults, guys.
And all these assholes who try to claim that they're a female and like no one's buying your bullshit. Because that's what it is. You know, I talked to my friend Sasha about this, and when people in the trans community hate each other and then bitch because, you know, oh, I'm gonna hate you because you don't think like everybody else. I'm like, it's utter fucking hypocrisy at its finest.
Yeah, yes, he will. He will stew on this for days. And he already made another video. I didn't download it. I don't care. It was like a minute and a half where he reiterates his point here. He had like 18 hours to sober up, and he made another video reiterating his point here. So he'll be stewing about it for a while. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was one of the things I had to cut out. It was like a good 45 seconds where he was talking about the bottom half of trans people in graphic language, because he thinks about it all the time. It was so weird. So I really wanted to point out that he did that instead of just cutting it out because it was so long. I want to, let you know what the hell just happened there.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you make your fellow women, I'll use that language loosely because you identify as a woman, and I certainly don't want to offend anyone, but it's not that hard to offend people because all you gotta do is have your own opinion and breathe, and you offend somebody. Kiss my ass. Okay, if you offend your fellow women who are cisgendered, they're...
You know, the people who cry about everyone gets so offended so easily these days, they're usually assholes. I don't think I've ever had someone who was not an asshole cry that everyone gets offended so easily. Well, why are you offending people left and right? Like, why don't you stop doing that?
Told to just get over it and deal with it. You know what I'm saying? And if it offends you, you're told to just get over it and deal with it and respect their safe space. Let me ask the trans community this question. You want to call Blair White a cunt? But it's like, if someone made you feel unsafe in your trans space, you'd never hear the end of it. Yeah, I'm calling out the hypocrisy like I see it. If this makes you mad, I do not care. I do not give a fuck what my family or friends or fans post on their Facebook page.
So there you go. There's clue one. There's clue one. that he's talking about an argument with his dad, and he's throwing out, I don't care what my family posts on their Facebook. And, you know, or my friends or my fans. Yeah, this is about Clint. This is about Clint, guys. He's mad. They had a little argument. And Clint probably told him, like, Josh, can you please stop posting stuff like that to your Facebook? Like, my family members see this. And he goes, yeah, I'm allowed to do whatever I want. Because he's Josh. He has ODD.
If I don't like what they have to say, I choose to ignore it. And as somebody who gets bullied for being friends with Sasha, you know, I'm like, here's the thing of it, you know, if you make trans people feel unsafe in their safe space, you don't validate their pronouns, whatever, you're a bigot. But what about everyone else's pronouns? Everyone else's safe space? And when you live in a society that only validates political popular opinion, then who's the bigot here?
I thought pronouns didn't exist to Cobes. I thought he said pronouns don't exist, and I thought he hated the idea of safe spaces. But as soon as he can sit here and play the victim and be like, oh, no, I need to be a victim now. I need my pronouns and my safe spaces. I need to be like trans people because they're not allowed to have an argument. So stupid. 10 from Last Strike. Cobes is a bad person. If he thinks the way he lives is going to win over Ellen when she is obviously trying to avoid him at all costs, so he endgame as to go to Jack, the GoFundMe account. He is sick, period. I'm sorry, that took me a second. Yeah, he's stealing the GoFundMe account because he thought he was going to get Ellen over that, and it didn't work, and he's a scumbag person, and then he does this stuff, and he wonders why people hate him. When he tries to be as offensive as possible, guys. Yeah, where's the money?
That makes society and you the bigots. And because trans people were discriminated against for so long, and now it's like, okay, we gotta make up for lost time, and be like, well, here we go, you know, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to treat you like that, please don't cancel me. You're so afraid of being canceled, or what someone might think about you, instead of thinking about human decency and equality. And all this crap does is make it look bad for trans people. Blair White's not doing a goddamn thing, except pointing out all the crap. Pointing out all the crap that makes trans people look bad. And then you want to call her a cunt, you know? I'm sitting here like, really? Okay, well, you know what? Fuck you.
Yeah, he's very amped up about someone that's not him, calling someone else that's not him a bad word that doesn't affect him simply because he has a chance to play a victim and say, I was an ally of all these people, and now you're victimizing them, and I'm just like them, and I'm poor little Cobes. It's so fucking stupid.
This is the problem with it. If Blair White speaks about these issues, she gets labeled as a self-hating trans. If I speak out against these issues, I get told I'm a fucking transphobic piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. And then everyone else in the middle is just like, can I speak and have my own opinion? No, because apparently in today's society, you're not allowed to have your own opinion without someone else getting offended.
Yeah, he makes up this large swath of people in the middle who are just quiet, who want to support Cobes, but they can't because they're so scared of the woke mob. It's not that like he's completely uneducated. He has no idea what he's talking about. He's pretty bigoted. It couldn't be any of that, guys. It couldn't be any of that.
Oh my God, I'm so sick of it.
I heard she was.
And I'm like, you know what? I don't give a fuck if you're trans or cisgendered or gay, straight, bisexual, trans, queer, black, white, whatever. That's how they divide us as a society, by making it about our differences instead of making it about what makes us human, what makes us unite. Like Donald Trump was the first president to host a gay wedding. He allowed a trans woman to compete in the Miss Universe pageant, but somehow he's a bigot because your gay rights are being taken away. It's like, you know what?
That's a very, yeah. If he takes away gay rights, that would make him a bigot. That is exactly how that works. If he goes against gay rights, that would by definition make him sort of a bigot, Josh.
What, dude? You want to talk about gay rights? Try having gay rights in the Middle East, ruled by these Muslims. You know what I'm saying? Well, if you don't comply with Sharia law, they chop your fucking head off. And if you don't like it, deal with it. It's cultural appropriation. You know?
Yeah, like that's a good point. Somewhere else in the world, people have it harder. So you're not allowed to complain about anything in your life because there's other places in the world where people have it harder. Meanwhile, Josh complains about his life consistently, and he has one of the easiest lives in the fucking world. He doesn't work, he doesn't do anything but sit around and get drunk all the time.
You want to throw a fucking fit because your pronouns are being mislabeled? when there were children dying of AIDS and starvation in Africa, but you want to throw a fit because your pronouns got mislabeled. Oh, you poor first world oppressed baby. Wham! Everybody wants to talk down to me and treat me like I'm stupid, and the second I have this fucking argument, you want to make excuses about my disorders, like, that's just your ocular defiancy disorder, whatever.
It's oppositional defiant disorder. And that is what it is, Josh. That is what it is. As soon as people tell you not to do something, that's the first thing you want to do. As soon as people say something is bad, you have to be for it. That is what the disorder is, and that's literally what you're showcasing right now.
I'm like, you know what? Stop making excuses. I'm allowed to think for myself. It has nothing to do with my disorders. If you don't like what I have to say, then don't watch, don't listen. And the second I speak out against certain issues, I get attacked because people can't handle the truth. And just because I see it as the truth doesn't mean you're going to see it the same way. You know what I'm saying?
So he's admitting that it's not the truth. It's an objective opinion. But he still goes, but it's the truth. So the truth is very, very fluid for Josh.
Like the comment I got on my Facebook page, everyone in the trans community fucking hates Blair White. Why? Because she's trans? Oh, you can't say that because that would make you a transphobic.
Yes, yeah, I'm sure that is the case. I'm sure everybody in the trans community hates Blair White because she's trans. That is a quote from Josh, a King Cobra quote that he actually just said. Everyone in the trans community dislikes Blair White because she's trans. That is definitely something that I'm sure is true.
So like everyone in the trans community is fucking full of shit, and they're all a bunch of massive raging hypocrites. You want to sit there and say it's all about love and acceptance, but if Blair White has an opinion on it, you're gonna hate her. But if Trump allows a trans woman to compete in Miss Universe, you're still gonna hate him and call him transphobic. This is the kind of rhetoric that the radical left loves to preach. It's like, why can't we just get along and stop making it about, like, trans versus straight?
Because he's in love with a couple trans people, and it confuses him. And so he does these rants. He can't control his feelings. It turns into hatred for both himself and the other people that he loves, guys. He's a very confused man.
You know, gay versus straight, trans versus cisgender, black versus white, religion, etc. I'm just sick of it, dude. There's so much fucking goddamn hatred in our world, and nobody wants to stop and think, maybe we should stop making it about trans versus cis, gay versus straight, black versus...
Yeah, you know, I didn't look into that. Didn't sound right. It also sounded like it was one of those things that possibly could have happened, you know, because we're living in a crazy world right now. One of those weird things is like, oh yeah, you know, you find that out, you're like, oh, man, I guess it makes sense in 2025. But I also can believe that definitely wouldn't happen as well. You know, both things are equally likely.
Whites. And then even amongst all that bullshit, you got black people who hate other black people, and you got fucking trans people who hate other trans people, while screaming, we're oppressed and we're sick and tired of the hatred, and why can't we just have love and acceptance? You're a miserable fucking hypocrite. And then when you Google white slavery, and you find out that white slaves existed in Africa, it completely changes the fucking arguments. And I know me saying this is going to piss off a lot of my Facebook friends. I don't care.
Yeah, it'll piss people off because it doesn't really make any sense to what you're talking about. He's just all over the place trying to say offensive things so he can have people, like, you know, bitch to him and be like, you're wrong, Cobes, so he can whine some more. I mean, it's so stupid.
Stop making it about sexuality, gender, religion, race, class, etc. And start making it about we're all having a human experience. We're all having a human experience, and we're all just trying to live our lives.
Yeah, I mean, this is just drunk ranting. I mean, can you imagine, like, you're at the bar just having a drink after work, trying to relax or something, and this guy sits next to you, and, like, the next 45 minutes of your life, he's just going on, and you don't know how to fucking get out of the situation. Like, god damn.
And find acceptance. But, like, when the assholes who experience the most political oppression finally get equality, all of a sudden they start becoming the people that they secretly hate. So now, like 20 years ago, if I were to speak out against gay people or trans people, nobody would stop me. But now if I do it today, it'd be like, I don't hate gays or trans, I just don't like people abusing their fucking privilege, and all the assholes speaking out on their behalf, and then all the assholes ruining it for this community. I get told I'm a phobic piece of shit. I'm like, excuse me. To quote the trans/gay community, don't assume my pronouns.
That didn't make any sense at all. He thinks he's being so fucking clever. He thinks he's so goddamn clever. He doesn't make any sense. He's just a drunk rambling, trying to come up with a thought when there's just like, you ever like see a fly trying to get out of a window and it just keeps banging against the glass over and over, just trying to do something it can't do? That's Cobes' brain right now, struggling to make a cogent thought out of his opinion.
And like the other day, I got into an argument with someone I care about over politics, Democrat versus Republican, and it was the stupidest of arguments. And the argument I got with someone I care about put me in a very dark place. I'm not gonna lie. Arguing with that person in particular, not gonna say who it is, because you know who you are when I post this video on Facebook. That argument put me in a very dark place. I get so much crap from my YouTube trolls, and then I get crap from everybody else. And all I'm doing is trying to live my life and have a human experience, just like trans people, just like gay people. The only difference is sexuality and gender and religion. The whole argument is fucking stupid, dude. Jesus fucking Christ.
Two from last strike. The hamster passed, but the wheel is still turning. That is true. That is exactly what's happening. The hamster is gone to Mexico. And the wheel is just spinning there, rudderless, guys. It's sad.
I'm over it. And I'm like, you know what? You stop making it about politics and be like, we're all human beings just trying to coexist with each other. Would it kill the world to be nicer to each other and stop making it about gender, race, religion, politics, sexual orientation, etc.? Well, if it did, then I'll stop bitching about it. Because I don't want any drama, dude. Even though I hate the human race, I want world peace.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to hate on Blair White, including the trans community. And even though the trans community bitches about acceptance, tolerance, and having a safe space, if you make everybody else who isn't trans uncomfortable in their safe space, those people are told to just deal with it and quit being transphobic.
Yeah, there you go. Trans people make Cobes uncomfortable, so he doesn't want them to exist. And don't worry, he has a solution. For how to deal with trans people in our world. That is definitely something that no one has ever tried before. That is a well thought out system that would definitely work. But we'll hear about that.
And then when you fucking hate on Blair White because she doesn't think like you do, she gets labeled as self-hating trans. And it's hypocrisy at its finest. I'm not here to talk down to people. I'm here to find reason and a solution. And my solution is give trans people their own sports leagues.
Yes. There you go. Give them their own sports leagues. Guys.
Trans people their own bathrooms.
And their own bathrooms. I mean, we've never tried a bad experiment in American history where we had separate bathrooms for a specific sector of people. I mean, that's a definite solution that never goes badly, ever. Separate but equal. I think I heard that somewhere, and I think it worked before.
And to give trans people their own locker rooms. Here's the thing of it. If you have a unisex bathroom, I don't think the world's going to fall apart because you have a unisex bathroom where men and women can use the bathroom and everyone can coexist. Because the way I look at it, being able to use the bathroom and shit and piss should be a basic human right.
That's very weird. That is a very weird situation because he was saying earlier that trans people shouldn't be allowed in locker rooms because it would weird everyone out. But apparently, bathrooms are fine. Because we know the kind of stuff that Josh likes, and he probably, well, I'm not going to say it, but I think you know where I'm going to go with that, guys.
You want to make it about gender equality when I hear women bitch about men all the time, and trans people bitch about cisgendered people, and trans people bitch about Blair White, because blah, 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 your opinion. It's all hypocritical at its finest. And I don't got to say shit, dude. I'm patiently waiting for my next food hack to happen, which is going to happen tomorrow. Thank you to all my fans, sincerely, for buying a King Cobes.
You know what? The mall near me, I think, has had... Well, the mall is not near me anymore. I moved away years ago. The mall near me, that was near me years ago, has had 3 bathrooms for at least 25 years. There was a men's bathroom, a women's bathroom, and a family bathroom that anyone could go in, and the stalls had doors. There weren't urinals. It was a unisex bathroom. It's been solved for like 2.5 decades.
cameo shout-outs. That's how I was able to afford the food hack I'm going to do tomorrow. It's going to be a McDonald's food hack because I love Mickey D's. I grew up eating that stuff, you know. My dad would take me to McDonald's to buy a Happy Meal.
Yeah, exactly. And also, but I mean, also anyone can go in there. It's fine. Like, it's already a solved issue. There's a place anyone can go into, and the bathrooms are secure for anyone to use. It's not a problem. It's not a fucking problem.
I'm old enough to remember McDonald's having a fruit roll-up in their Happy Meals. Excuse me. You know, back in the day when you were a 90s baby and you got the Happy Meal and the fruit snack.
The bathrooms are disgusting because everyone can use it. That's like another issue that I don't think would be solved by having a specific bathroom. If it's dirty because it's a dirty place. If it's a clean bathroom, it's because it's a clean bathroom. You know what I mean? Like, that's so separate.
Came in the McDonald's Happy Meal. It was a rainbow-colored fruit roll-up snack. You know what I'm saying? And like, well, if you finish your chicken McNuggets and your fries, you can have your prize and your toy. You know? I'm old enough to remember that. I'm a 90s baby. Represent.
I was getting Happy Meals in the 90s. Through a lot of the 90s. I don't remember getting a fruit roll-up and a Happy Meal. I know we've discussed this before, and you guys said that you did, but I really don't remember ever getting a fruit roll-up and a Happy Meal. And could they make Happy Meals worse? Here's a giant lump of sugar. Here you go, kids.
And that's just it. I don't want to fight with my dad or my mom or my trolls or anyone. I'm just tired of fucking arguing with everyone. And then when everybody's like, nobody wants to have a conversation, and I'm sick and tired of everyone yelling and arguing and preaching down to me kind of thing. And I'm like, well, if you don't want to have a conversation without it being about your opinions and your feelings and, oh, we can't say anything because it might offend you, then you're just a part of the problem as the rest of us. Oh. I'm not trying to be a dick, but that's the fucking truth. I want to title the comment on this video, "Hear Me Out." And be like, I'm not here to offend anyone. I'm tired of fighting with the...
Oh, well, you got milk because your parents didn't love you and they wouldn't get you a soda with your Happy Meal. I'm sorry to inform you.
Well, I'm tired of the world fighting me. You know, the trans community loves to bitch about tolerance and acceptance, but Blair White and Trump get the most hatred out of everyone, and then yet you scream about how you're sick and tired of being hated on and preached at. And I'm like, treat others the way you want to be treated. It's the golden rule.
Oh, we got two from Last Strike. I miss when people used to send him cat food. Yeah, that was fun. And wood chips. The wood chips is funny. Why did people send him wood chips?
You know, when people in my Facebook feed compare Trump to the next Hitler, and it pisses me off, you know what I choose to do? Ignore it. But when I post something on Facebook that might offend certain people, everyone's going to be like, oh my god, Josh, you're a piece of shit. I'm like, you know what? I'm allowed.
I like how he considers this ignoring it. I mean, like, just because you didn't respond to this specific post, you make these ranting videos, and you did upload this to Facebook, or at least you said you did in this video. So it is kind of responding to it when you talk about all the things they said, talk about your opinion of it and how you disagree, and then post it to the same platform they're going to see it on. That kind of is responding to it. Two from Gravity. Cheers, everyone. Love you guys, and Speed. No homo. Well, you love me. That is homo, so sorry.
I think for myself, thank you. And you're allowed to think for yourself. And if we can't get along on certain issues, then I just choose to not discuss certain issues around certain people. And it shouldn't be an issue because the whole fucking argument is about basic human equality. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, hear me out. If I was a...
Yeah, hear him out. Like, I mean, we're 13 minutes into this. I guess, like, but if the sped up time, it's probably about 20 minutes into the actual video. But let's hear him out. He hasn't been talking drunkenly for 20 minutes already, guys. Hear him out.
Father of myself, and my daughter was changing in a locker room.
I keep getting age restricted on Cobes videos. And I couldn't figure it out. And, like, he wasn't even wearing the bad shirt in some of them. And I just couldn't figure out what the fuck was happening. And the one right over his head is a picture of a woman's ass. And I'm like, I think that's why I'm getting age restricted. I mean, I don't care. I don't make any money from it, but I don't like getting age restricted. You know, just people have to be signed in to see it. It seems like it'd be annoying. So I decided to just blur it out. Just blur it out, guys. Yeah, I mean, that's I don't know. Like, I don't really care if I get age restricted, but I was like, well, why? Because it's just Cobes just ranting. The Cobes doesn't do anything. that's really age restricted worthy. He's just ranting about stupid topics. So I was like, I'll just blur that out.
And some dude came in, but they're trans, so they're not a dude, they're a female now, allegedly, and it made them feel uncomfortable. My daughter would be told, well, you're a transphobe, get over it. Well, the trans community screams it's all about tolerance and acceptance. I'm like, you know what? It's not my fault that trans people don't have their own locker rooms. So
and it says specifically it gets age restricted for sexual content. And like some of these, it wasn't even anything like that. Cobes, like he talks about stuff, but like he wasn't getting graphic with it. That was like, oh no, it has to be age restricted. I'm like 90% sure it was the picture over his head. I'm like 90% sure it was the picture over his head. We'll see if this is age restricted too. But yeah, anyway, so I just figured I'd blur it out just to be safe.
So, if you're going to make your fellow women, loose quotations, feel uncomfortable and fuck everybody else, then nobody's going to take you seriously. Because
Did we? I don't know. I missed it if Victor put one in.
Because it just makes you look like a giant, massive hypocrite. Screaming about how gender doesn't exist, but you must respect my gender pronouns. I'm not trying to be a dick. As long as you're not a goddamn sicko, I could give a fuck what you're into. And when I speak out on these issues, I get told I'm a transphobe, and then when fucking Blair White speaks out on it, she gets told everyone in the trans community fucking hates her. I'm like, how the fuck are you gonna bitch about how you're sick and tired of all the hatred, and you want acceptance, but you hate your fellow trans people?
Yeah, like I get Josh's mind is very rigid. He doesn't understand nuance. He doesn't understand that if a trans community wants to support trans people, that they can still dislike a trans person for their actions or their words or whatever they do. He doesn't really understand that nuance exists in the world. He just thinks that because trans people want to support other trans people, they have to legally support every trans person in the world.
That's kind of bullshit, dude.
Yeah, he really is.
I'm just saying, I don't give a fuck what your political agenda is. Quite frankly, I'm sick and tired of how politics divides us as a goddamn country. Everyone in the trans community fucking hates Blair White, but then preaches and bitches because they want acceptance and tolerance. I'm like, wait a minute. So you're allowed to hate me because I'm cisgender and straight? You're allowed to hate Blair White because she supports Trump? And then you want to sit there and bitch because it's all about love and acceptance?
It's this constant victim bullshit from Josh. He really believes that people dislike him because he's straight and cisgendered. Not that he sits here saying really, really offensive stuff that's poorly thought out and based on emotion and not like any actual anything. Just so he can play a victim. He really believes that everyone hates him just because he's straight. Not anything else he does or says or the way he acts, guys.
Go fuck yourself. Donald Trump was the first president to host a gay wedding and LGB still hates his ass. I'm like, yeah, whatever. What the fuck ever. Like it or not, Trump's our president for the next 4 years. And being a sore loser hypocrite about it isn't going to gain you any favors. All we're going to do is...
Yeah, being a sore loser. Because Josh is the winner, even though he didn't even bother to vote because the line was too long. He's going to sit here and go, I'm the winner in this situation. It's amazing. It's amazing how the team aspect of politics really gets to people like Josh. He thinks just because he supports Trump, at least at this minute, well, he thinks it's a good idea to support Trump. He's on the winning team, and he gets to tell everyone, you're losers, and you need to stop whining about it, guys.
Find more shit to laugh about.
I'm not trying to get political. I'm trying to stay away from politics. I don't have politics. I don't care about politics. I just, want to point out the ridiculousness of the situation.
The other day, when I was in a car with a certain someone, I saw it was raining outside, and I made the comment, oh look, it's raining libtard tears. And it offended the driver of the car in question. I wasn't trying to offend them, I was just making a joke.
So there you go. So there's a little story. I'm like 90% sure he was in the car with his dad, and he said that stupid joke. And Clint was like, Josh, don't do stuff like that. And he got into a big argument with Clint, guys.
And what does that person do? Proceed to start an entire huge political argument about nothing in front of me and him. I acted immaturely, and they acted immaturely, just typical butting heads with the people involved. Instead of laughing at it.
Yeah, I'm sure your father acted very immaturely. I'm sure he didn't try to tell you why you're being stupid and you're being offensive, and you shouldn't just say that stuff in polite company. It's not funny or interesting. No one cares about your politics. I'm sure he was very immature with that, and I'm sure you were acting very mature and not just whining like Josh loves to do.
Laughing at themselves and be like, oh, Josh, you silly wanker. That's not appropriate, and just leave it at that. Nope, we had to make a huge fucking argument about it. I get bullied for being King Cobra JFS. I dress goth. I listen to Cradle of Filth and Ozzy Osbourne. So when I wear goth makeup, and then I get told nobody makes fun of you for being straight, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you don't know my life, dude. I don't know trans people's lives. And that's the thing of it. I get so sick and tired of our society getting offended on everyone else's behalf instead of asking, how do you think they feel about it? Case in point, you have the Aunt Jemima syrup commercials. Well, she was a...
Yes, case in point. Somehow Aunt Jemima is now relevant to this conversation, guys. Did you think we were going to go there? Did you think we were going to take that hard left turn to Aunt Jemima? Guys?
black woman, and because she's black, you know, because she was a former slave, we got to make it about racism and be like, well...
Yes, because she was a former slave. You gotta make it all about racism. Why would you make it about racism, guys? Just because she was a former slave. The two things have nothing to do with each other. 5 from Last Strike. Josh is a brat who has been grifting, taking advantage of people, and playing the victim. He needs to realize he is the sicko, the one thing he hates. That is true. That is true. But anyways, somehow Aunt Jemima is irrelevant, and you know, slavery has nothing to do with racism, guys. 2 from Charlie Girl. This is suddenly a Canadian issue. Yes, it is, guys. Yes, it is.
We're gonna remove her. Not to mention that, like, Aunt Jemima was a black woman who, yes, she was a former slave, but as soon as she got freed as a slave woman, as a black African-American woman of descent, she was one of the first African-American females to make $1 million off of her delicious pancake syrup. That's gotta be like a giant fuck you to her former slave owner, like, well, this syrup is fucking delicious.
Is that story even true? I don't know. I mean, I didn't even fucking look into it, because why would I even bother to look into who fucking Aunt Jemima actually is? But is this story true, or is that just like a branding thing that never happened, and Josh believes it's a real story? 2 from Greasy Programmer. Can't wait for the Uncle Ben food hack. Yeah. Oh my god, he's ridiculous.
Wait a minute, I recognize her face. God damn it! Instead of being like, okay, black people, how do you feel about Aunt Jemima being on the syrup bottle? If they would have said, I don't give a shit, it's not about the race, it's about the simple fact that pancake syrup tastes delicious.
Okay.
Oh my fucking god, I'm so sick and tired of political bullshit.
That's funny.
You know?
That's funny. So, she didn't ever actually exist. She's a branding thing, and Cobes believes that she was a syrup millionaire. He believes Aunt Jemima was a syrup millionaire. That's special. 5 from Faust. Josh is only ranting because he is viciously attracted to Blair White. That's most definitely what's up. Yes, that's that. Yeah, you didn't know that? Yeah, no. Yeah, he's fucking clearly attracted to Blair White, guys. 2 from Shark Dino. It's not even a black-owned company. Planey? I don't know what that word is, but yeah, it's not even. It was just a branding thing. I think everybody was pretty sure of that, anyways. Only Cobes is the only person in the world who believes that Aunt Jemima was a syrup millionaire.
I hate police brutality, and when it happens to blacks, it's all over the fucking news. But when it happens to a white person, nobody cares, because it doesn't fit the narrative. It's the same thing with like sexism, racism, and rape. You know, if it happens to everyone else, you know that person's a piece of shit, naturally, of course. But if it happens to a white, straight, cisgendered male, nobody gives a shit. How is it rape when all men want is sex? Fuck that.
Yeah, that's not really anything anyone's ever said. He just makes this stuff up. He makes this stuff up to play a little victim and like be like, "Ooh, I made this up and now I'm gonna rant about it." He has to play the victim forever and a day. Josh is the victim.
And it's like, here's the thing of it. What it boils down to is treat others the way you want to be fucking treated, and stop making it about race, gender, sexuality, religion, creed, etc. Because, it doesn't fit the narrative. They're all straight, white, cisgendered, heterosexual males, or sexist, racist, blah, 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 blah. All these women who are complaining because Trump's president, it's like, check your female privilege, dude. If Kamala Harris had won the presidency, nobody under the male sex would be allowed to complain about it, especially if you were white. If a white male complained about it, you'd be told to shut the fuck up, check your white privilege, check your male privilege, and oh, it's her turn. You shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up. Okay? Like, you're mad because Trump's president, you know? Can men honestly say, oh, it's because you hate men and you're...
No, he's so worked up against a non-existent anyone who's actually arguing against him. He just creates these straw men that he has to battle in his mind, because this is what happens when you never go out, you never talk to anyone, when you isolate yourself and you drink constantly. This is what happens to you. You get into weird arguments with yourself and you decide they're real and you need to talk about them in public. Two from Shark Gyno. He is obsessed with this topic. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's very obsessed with this topic. It's very clear what's going on.
Racist towards white people, you'd never hear the end of it. You're like, oh, well, you hate men, that's why you hate Trump being president. It's like, grow the fuck up, dude. You know, when my family and my friends, like I said, post shit on Facebook and I don't agree with...
Two from Faust Meth. He's fighting a straw man, and the straw man is winning. That is true. That is very true.
I choose to ignore it, because it's not worth having the conversation about it. If we're not going to agree on the issue, then I choose to peacefully and strongly agree to disagree. When I'm having an argument with people that I care about, I'd rather use my smart mouth and my logic and the way I perceive things. A lot of people dig what I'm laying down. And the way I see it, trans people should have their own sports leagues. You know, it's kind of unfair to let them compete with other women who are cisgendered. You're a dude. Women have had to fight for equality since the 1960s to have their own sports leagues. Just to have men who are...
Women have been fighting since the 1960s to have their own sports leagues. That is a summation of everything. It's only been since the 60s, and it was only to get their own sports leagues, guys. To get their own sports leagues. They were not allowed. They were not allowed to play sports until the years of effort starting only in the 60s.
Like, all they gotta do is get some fake titties and inject themselves with testosterone and like estrogen and whatever else, just to qualify as a female, whatever. You know, it's stupid. I'm like, I can say I'm Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z, that doesn't make it true. And I'm sitting here like, you know what, fuck politics, and fuck the human race fighting with each other. And you gotta make it all about, like, you know, gender, religion, race, sexuality, and gender, and all this stupid shit. And honestly, I'm just sick of hearing it. You know, trans people are bitching at cisgendered people, and when I watch trans people hating each other because they don't align with the groupthink while screaming at everyone else, they're tired of the intolerance and the hatred. I'm like, okay, if you hate Blair White because she doesn't think like you, you're a massive hypocrite.
No, it would make them a hypocrite if they accepted Blair White despite the things she says simply because she was trans. That would make them hypocrite. It would make their whole talk about being accepting and wanting to further help trans people to go against someone who goes against their agenda despite the fact that they were trans. Like, does that make sense? Am I making sense? Like, it would be hypocritical for them to accept someone who's trans despite having terrible opinions just because they were trans. That would be hypocritical, right? I don't know.
You know, straight people want to hate me because I support trans and gay rights, and I'm not a bigot. I fight for female and male equality. I fight for human equality because, like I said, we're all human beings, dude. We're all just trying to figure out who we are as people and have a human experience. That doesn't make us bad. What makes us bad is our personal decisions. It shouldn't be about politics. But everyone's got an opinion, and they all fucking stink because everyone's got an asshole. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I got 5 from Edward. I bet if nuclear war broke out, he'll still be crying about something else. Yeah, he'll be crying about something that makes his life hard. Because Cobra has to be a victim of something. He can't ever be wrong. He has to be a victim of something.
Got an opinion, and opinions are like assholes, and they all stink. Someone called her Blair White a cunt in my comment section because I posted a Blair White fucking video on my Facebook. And they scream at me about how the trans community fucking hates Blair White. And it's like, okay, so you're gonna give everyone else shit because they hate trans people and then turn around and hate Blair White because she doesn't think like you? That's hypocrisy at its finest. Oh, Josh Saunders is drinking and fucking talking politics and speaking his truth. And, you know, this isn't just my truth. This is the way I perceive the world. How the fuck are you going to hate me because I don't agree with everything you think? You know?
Because the things you say are very bigoted, very small-minded. They're offensive to lots of people. That is why people judge you. It's not just like you have your opinion and no one's allowed to judge you. Josh?
And it's like, just because I don't agree with everything you think doesn't mean I hate you. And then when I throw everyone's bullshit back in their face, everyone's got to fucking give me shit about it. I'm like, you know what? If you don't like it, then stop giving Cobra shit. Respect my opinion and I'll respect yours. To a point. As long as you're not a goddamn sicko, I don't give a shit. Fuck, I'm so tired of dealing with people's fake hypocrisy and everyone trying to throw it in my face. And then when I throw it in their face, I'm no better than the people I bitch about. I'm like, people are shit. I said it. I'm like, you know what? If it clearly says male locker room, female locker room, and you still have male or female parts, then you don't belong in said locker room. You know? You want people to respect your safe space, then you gotta respect everyone else's safe space. That's called equality. And equality's a bitch, and so is my ex-girlfriend. Facebook, winning? No. I thought Josh posted the video. Let's see what he has to say. You know what, Josh? Fuck you for fucking telling it like it is. Who the fuck do you think you are? I'm nobody, man. I'm nobody. I'm a waste of space.
Yep, there you go. At least he admits it. At least he admits it. At least he has a second of cogent thought and actually admits it, guys.
Stupid, autistic, drunk, alcoholic piece of shit. I'm nobody, dude. I'm nothing. A lot of people love me and support me and respect me. And you know what? I appreciate it. I appreciate all the cool Cobras who support me. If like Cobra's not an asshole, he's just unapologetically himself, and he's not afraid to speak out for both sides of the arguments. And that kind of thing makes people angry and mad, like, oh, I can't stand it. Oh my god.
2 from last strike. This dude claims disability and drinks every dollar. That is true. And he drinks every dollar he gets from YouTube. He drinks every dollar he gets from his Cameo. He drinks every dollar he gets directly on Cash App. He just drinks it all down, guys.
God. And believe me, I've had these conversations with Sasha, my trans friend, Alex Campbell. And like, she doesn't speak for every trans person out there, and neither does Blair White. So just because I post a video about Blair White speaking her truth, everyone's gonna freak out and be like, well, she's such a cunt, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, dude, seriously? Everyone should be allowed to...
No, like, again, it was probably just his dad commenting on his Facebook, being like, you know, Josh... Well, he probably did say that. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But the point is, it's probably just one person commenting. He goes on a rant about it. He was probably salty in the car about his dad making that comment, and so he made an annoying comment in the car, and they had a big fight over it. This is all just because he had a fight with his father, the grown man lolcow.
Have their opinion to a point, you know? And that's just my opinion. And I get so much crap for being Sasha's fucking straight, allied, cisgendered friend. It's ridiculous. My trolls go out of their way to bully me for being friends with Sasha, and yet if I wasn't friends with her, I'd be called a transphobe. So do with that information what you will. Word vomits. I feel 1,000 times better after saying that on camera. Just straight up like, you know what? I don't got a problem with trans people. What I got a problem with is the political correctness.
You know, that's just the dude needs therapy. The dude needs therapy. Instead of actually going to therapy and talking out these problems with someone who can help him work through it and deal with it with better coping skills and how to communicate with people better. He just makes a 45-minute video ranting about it on the internet and goes, oh, I feel so much better now. But you haven't done anything for yourself. You haven't helped yourself in any way, Josh.
All for humans and people who deserve it having more rights. You're a decent person like the rest of us. You deserve equality just like the rest of us. And I'm sick and tired of everyone making it about gender, race, politics, religion.
$2 from Edward. This rant is sponsored by Budweiser. Yes, it is, Tubes. Yes, it is.
Etc. And like, God forbid I post a fucking thing on my Facebook that makes you go, that makes me mad. Oh, wah, get over it.
Yeah, finish the drink. That's gonna help.
I support trans people 100%. I'm the last person to bully someone for being gay or LGBT+, because I get so much crap for being King Cobra. If anything, I listen to Cradle of Filth. And I get bullied for that too, by the goth community and the black metal community. You know? And I'm just sick and tired of all the hypocrisy. Like the black metal community will bitch because nobody understands us. And I'm sick and tired of being judged for my taste in music. And then turn around, oh, well, you listen to Cradle of Filth, you're a poser. And I'm like, see that? See that? My Cradle of Filth band logo with my Ozzy Osbourne knuckles.
That is exactly what a fucking poser would do. Get a band name tattooed on their arm. Get Ozzy's name tattooed on their knuckles. That is exactly what a fucking poser would do.
Suck a bag of ass, dude. 100. And that's just it. I don't want trouble with people. I'm so sick and tired of drama in my life. I'm sick and tired of fighting with everybody. I'm sick and tired of people judging me and judging everyone else. And nobody wants to make an effort to be nicer to each other because it's all about self-gain and self-interest. You know? People are fucked and I'm tired of it.
Alright, well that was Cobes' Cobes' little rant about trans people again, guys. This is very informative. He needs to go to therapy. He needs to work out his issues with an actual doctor. Makes progress in his life, but he's not going to do that. He's going to keep making YouTube videos for the rest of his life. But that's all I got for this one, guys. This was that. Worked out just perfectly in an hour. That was amazing. That's awesome. Thank you all so much for coming by. I appreciate it. I'll catch you guys at the next one. And I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful evening.
This is the only response video that you are getting. After this, I'm going back to ignoring you. I'm going back to blocking you. I'm going back to not paying attention to you.
Oh, no, you don't, Chris. You're not getting away that easy.
They're best tired of their filth lovers. They love filth. And they think the more filth they hear, the more filth they say, the more they enjoy. They're just a bunch of people who loves filth. And we don't love filth.